Hey, what's going on? It's Michael. Yo, welcome to Comics on Canes. And I want to say thank you, first of all. Just went over 1,000 subscribers. To be honest with you, we thought it would take a year.
Yeah.
But we did it in 2 months. Thank you so much. It really means the world to us. Now, let's jump into it. Coming off a bye week, Forrest, where do you want to start here? There's a lot going on. Where do you want to start?
I just want to say I really appreciated that I didn't have to stress out this Saturday. That was fun. That was a real relaxing Saturday.
A well-needed rest for everybody involved. Not only the team, but for us as well.
Yeah.
2 weeks of craziness, two back-to-back crazy games, Virginia Tech, Cal. And now we got to just watch other teams stress out, and that feels good.
It was awesome. Yeah. So I think let's start in the ACC first. Let's go back because Clemson, they shellacked Wake Forest 49-14.
Now people are saying Clemson is the favorite now to win the ACC because, you know, the Georgia game, I mean, they looked horrible, but then they've been beating the ACC competition pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're saying, oh, I think Clemson could beat Miami. And so it's going back and forth. I mean, by far, Clemson and Miami are the top two teams, but we always saw that at the beginning of the year. We always said they were going to meet up in the championship. So no matter who you put first or second right now, it really doesn't matter because they're going to play.
Yeah, and they're playing well. They're playing like where we expected them to be because that first game against Georgia was just, they got annihilated and everyone's like, well, maybe they're no good. Dabo Swinney's letting the game go by them, you know, and but it seems like they kind of got it together and, you know, they're going to be a formidable opponent for it. It seems like if they're on a collision course, Miami and them, there are other teams in the mix. Pittsburgh's undefeated and they just got ranked. But yeah, Clemson is just rolling along and Pittsburgh, that's another one. They just came into the top 25 this week. They're debuting at number 22. They're 6-0. They beat Cal. That's why I wanted to mention this game. 17-15. Every other team, by the way, this is a concern when we're relating this to mine. Every other score with Cal is like 14-9, 17-15 Pittsburgh. Like, just going back to the theme that we've been hammering on with Miami and our defense, and we'll get to that. It's interesting to see the score, but they did have to travel all the way to Pittsburgh, and it was a week. They couldn't have felt good on that flight after the Miami loss. So,
well, I've always said this: you can't compare teams versus other teams because when you play Miami, even though we haven't won, let's be honest, in 23 years, we've always been a national brand. So teams always get up to beat us. We are their Super Bowl. You know, when you play Clemson or Miami, you're going to get up for it. And they had a week off, Cal. And of course, just think about the letdown that week in practice. It probably took them to Wednesday before they even felt okay to play another game. And then going to Pittsburgh. And I saw some of the game. They should have won that game. It was horrible coaching by Cal. And that's another thing. Coaches coach so well against Miami, but they coach so horribly against other teams. That coach lost that game. Yeah. And just like Florida, I know Florida and Tennessee, Napier gave that game away. Gave it away to Tennessee. So just know, playing Miami, everybody's going to play their best, and everybody's going to coach their best because everybody wants to beat Miami.
And I was rooting for Cal to win that game because my brain still thinks before the 12-team playoff, and when there was 4 teams, and we're looking at the strength of schedule and all that stuff being calculated, which is still all being calculated, but you had such a razor thin, margin before where you're like, I need these other teams to do well after we beat them so that can help us move up in the polls. But with the 12-team playoff, if Miami takes care of business, we're going to be in it. I think there's even a world that we go to the ACC championship if we lost to Clemson. I still think there's a chance we get him. Maybe not though with the strength of schedule, but there was something that was posted about the Miami strength of schedule that it was
number 2. Like compared to the other teams, it's number 2 with BYU or Idaho being number 1. I can't remember.
BYU was first and Miami was second, which was surprising to me. So if that's what the computers are spitting out, great. So, but it is funny how your brain works. So I was like, oh, we need Cal to win and I was like, it's okay. It's okay if they lost. So,
well, I mean, here's the thing. I saw a lot of concern on the boards. It's like, since 2 one-loss teams, or maybe, 2 one-loss teams are in front of us in the top 6 of polls. They're like, well, if Miami loses the championship game, they're not going to make the championship. Let me tell you something. And this is, y'all need to calm down. Y'all need to calm down. The reason why they have 2 one-loss teams in the top 5 is it's good for TV, because next week, Texas plays Georgia. They want 1 going against number 5. They don't want 1 going against 10 or 8 or 9. It's all about money, people. So stop overreacting because it's going to take care of itself. And guess what? Here's what you need to prepare for. If Georgia beats Texas, you're going to have 3 one-loss teams in front of Miami. Okay? Just get ready. I don't want to hit a bitch in, and it don't matter right now, because what's going to happen, those teams are going to cannibalize each other. And if Miami's undefeated and Clemson is undefeated, the winner and loser will go to the playoffs, because you're talking about a top 5 matchup. You're talking about maybe 2 versus 3, possibly 1 versus 2. Who knows what it is, but it will be a top 5 matchup. And there is no way, if both teams are undefeated, they're going to say both teams can't go when it's a top 5 matchup. So stop your worrying. Stop your bitching and complaining. Put some tampons on and let's go.
I don't think you know how tampons work, but that's all right. The disrespect the top 5 teams.
I mean, like these fans, these Miami fans, some of these Miami fans just drive me crazy, because they act like a bunch of punks, just bitching and whining about nothing, just making up scenarios.
I never know what Michael we're going to get podcast to podcast, because there was only a couple podcasts like, I want to dial it back, I want to bring it back, and now you're back in.
Yeah.
I know, because these people.
Up, Michael. Yeah.
What'd you say, Rudy?
I like fired up, Michael. Fired up, Michael.
Yeah, because man, I can't stand, because look, because of y'all, we have over 1,000 subscribers, and that means a lot. And no disrespect to the people that listen to this show, but if you're one of these people that just like to get on boards and whine and make up hypothetical situations, like, come on, man, stop. Why are you doing? And a lot of people, and I get it, a lot of people on the boards do it so they can see reaction, because it's kind of like putting out a good tweet and you want to see what it does. I get that. I understand that. But some people, man, take this stuff I take it serious, but I don't just say a bunch of BS to get people to say other things. You know, some people use it as a clickbait where they can get people to fight with them. And I don't want you to fight with me. You know, I just say what's real. All right, what's going on for us?
Some other interesting scores from the ACC just to watch, because these are teams we haven't played yet. Syracuse is improved to 5-1. They beat NC State. NC State was a team at the beginning of the year that they had high hopes. I'm pretty sure they were ranked, and everyone was like, they're going to be pretty good. They're 3-4 and 0-3 in the ACC. They're pretty much
done.
Yeah, and Syracuse is 5-1, 2-1 in the ACC. They won 24-17, solid win on the road, whatever. But that's that game you still are worried about at the end of the season in the Carrier Dome, if that's what it's called.
Well, but because at the end of the season, Miami's going to have a decision to make. If it goes like I think it's going to go, they're going to be 11-0 going into that game. Some players are going to be beat up. So you got to really decide, is this the game where you play your starters for a little bit, but put the second string in, possibly losing that game, which I still don't think they will. But if you lose that game, you have to win the ACC championship then. You know what I mean? You got to gamble. So what are you going to do? Are you going to rest up players? Because the bigger game is the ACC championship, because whoever wins that definitely is in.
Yeah.
So that's the decision, because I think you're going to have some starters. I mean, you're probably going on. When's our next bye? Do you have that?
There's no more buys till the end of the season.
Really? So you're talking about 6 weeks. I mean, 5 more weeks. Bodies are going to be beat.
I'm sorry. Correction. After the Georgia Tech game on November 9th, there's a bye week between them and Wake Forest.
Okay.
November 16th.
So they go Wake. How many games till Syracuse after Wake?
Just one. So after the bye, we have Wake Forest and then Syracuse in the season, then regular season over. Yeah.
All right. Then I feel a lot better. I think they're going to go full strength in, because I knew they had a bye. I didn't know when it was, because some teams have like a bye and then they play a game and then have another bye. But that's plenty of time. I think they're going to play all the starters and roll, but there will be some people on the fence. Now, I don't expect you to know this, Forrest. I'm just throwing it out there. Is there a week off before you play the championship game? It probably is, right?
In my recollection, there's not, actually, because they play the champion that week. that week following the regular season is they do the Army-Navy game, and then they have the Heisman thing, and that's usually the same weekend that you have all the conference championships. But I don't know with this new season. I can look it up.
Look up because I know okay. I'll look up when Miami's last game is.
Their last game is Syracuse on November 30th. It's the following week, December 6th and 7th.
Okay. So,
all the championships. You have ACC, Big 10, Big 12, SEC, SWAC, MAC on December 7th. And the day before is Mountain West, a couple other lesser conferences.
Well, what I did like is I'm not as worried about Syracuse knowing they got that bye. But what I do love is the team had a team meeting. They called a team meeting, players and that meant a lot. Yeah. That meant a lot because now the players know they're not playing that great over the last 2 games. And they're like, we need to get our stuff together. It's the last part of the season. You can make this players, if you watch this podcast, you can make this year so magical for you, but especially for me. Especially for me.
That's the most important part, Miami.
The most important part. Do it for me, Miami. Don't do it for yourselves and do it for me, okay?
Yeah, come December 7th, or no, wait, it'll be our instant reaction podcast. The disrespect.
The disrespect to me. Don't you take into regards my feelings?
Look, I'm telling you, we're gonna start a segment called The Disrespect. I gotta figure out what it is, but that's where we go through and see how we were disrespected.
There were some other big games outside of the ACC this week too. Obviously, the Oregon-Ohio State. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it, but that was.
I did.
It lived up to the hype.
It did.
It came down to the wire. I thought Ohio State was going to pull it. I was like, please do not let them.
No, we are so happy. Anytime, look, there's only 3 people I hate watch. I hate watch Ohio State, I hate watch Florida State, and I hate watch the Dallas Cowboys because I hate them too. So those are the 3 teams I love when they lose. The world is a better place when they lose. And to know Ryan Day, look, we got a lot of money in NIL too, but to know Ryan Day spent more than Miami and lost that game and probably will lose another game somewhere. And to know he's not successful in top 5 matchup, it just feels so right. It feels so right when Ohio State loses because you still stole something from us. You stole it from us. And I hope we play you in the playoffs. And I hope they force you to play in the Orange Bowl because that could happen. And if we play you in the Orange Bowl, ooh, yes, we whipping that ass. We are whipping that ass, Ryan Day.
We'll have to rebuild the Orange Bowl, first of all. So,
well, the Orange Bowl today, Forrest.
I know, but the old Orange Bowl,
Forrest. Why you disrespect? You know what I'm talking about, Forrest.
Well, the old Orange Bowl would be way better to play them. That's scary. That was when the buses would pull up in Little Havana for a night game. People would be like, "We're not getting off the bus." Like
I know
the whole stadium was rocking
because they would have to park the visitor's bus in somebody's lawn, and then that person that owned the house would charge them like $200 to park.
Whole bus, no blocky. That's like $500.
Whole bus, no blocky, no blocky, no blocky.
Here was a game that I was really sad turned out the way it was. Penn State, USC. Penn State pulled it out 33-30 in overtime.
I don't think they're good for us. Rudy, I don't think Penn State is good, man. I think they're overrated. I think they've been getting lucky. I think they're going to fall apart towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I really thought USC was going to pull it off and beat them. But, and also I wanted to move up some spots, at least one spot too.
It don't matter for us. Don't worry about moving up spots. We take care of business. We're going to move up some spots, okay? Don't you and other fans, that whole move, who cares? Who cares?
I like it.
And you know what? The polls don't even matter till the computers come out anyway.
True.
These polls don't even matter what the people talking about. It's what the computers spit out.
True, yeah.
I know it's true, Forrest. So stop worrying about polls.
Yeah.
Speaking of teams that might not be as good as people think they are, I think it's kind of coming to light. Alabama struggles again against South Carolina.
And did they even drop a spot? Did they even drop?
I do not believe they dropped the spot.
Now, let me tell you this, Forrest and Rudy. If we lose a game, we probably drop into 15. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. They do not give us that Alabama, that Ohio State, that Oregon. They don't give us that love. They wait. You know what? They wait in that office. There's a bunch of old white men just waiting for us to lose so they can be like, back in the day, Miami whooped our ass, so we got to drop them. We got to drop them really far, really, really far. But it won't matter. Drop us. You can drop us to 100 because we still win in the ACC. Drop us to 100. I don't care. We coming. We coming. All right.
Yeah, white men.
I'm sure there's a couple people, minority people in there too, but I guarantee you that room is filled with white people.
I don't doubt it. So I want to give a shout out, by the way, to Iowa State. They moved up to 9th. Only because a good friend of mine's son plays whiteout on him, Jaden Higgins.
Oh, wow.
And
nice.
And he's doing great. I think he just tied or broke a school record for touchdowns.
It's Iowa State. How hard is that to do?
They're up to 9th. They're 9th in the polls. They're undefeated.
I'm not disrespecting your friend, but I would like to know how many touchdowns it takes to break an Ohio State or Iowa State record.
I will find out for you, but I will say,
like what? He scored 2 touchdowns.
No, he had 6 catches for $1, whatever. He's legit. They're a legit passing team.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not legit.
Yeah, another wide on him, Noel. They're a legit passing team. The pros are looking at him. This guy's a real wide receiver.
No disrespect. Yeah. No disrespect. Never no disrespect.
The no disrespect to Jaden Higgins.
But I've been keeping an eye on them all year, and they beat West Virginia on the road. It's not an easy task ever. So shout out to them. And then one more shout out: Army and Navy are ranked. It says for the first time since 1960.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
pretty dope.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that. And they're making their season debuts in the poll. They haven't been both ranked since 1960 because historically that game would come up and you got to watch this game and it's like Navy would be good or Army be good. And you're like, so they're heading toward that would be that championship weekend or when that weekend is that'll be a fun.
I just want to bring something up for us. My studio has been having problems. I'm on this slow drag right now. I think my camera's moving slow. So I apologize. We're trying to work this out, man. I've been trying to go back and forth. The problem with this is the problem with tech companies. Now you have to have their wires to work correctly. It's a scam. Yeah. It's a scam. Yeah. Don't buy secondary wires anymore because they're making it where their wires got to work with your stuff, and I'm cheap. So this whole studio got secondary wires, and now I'm seeing we got to replace them all because I'm stalling out and stuff. Yeah. Man. It's the disrespect to the wires.
The wires are disrespecting you. I think
that's what I'm saying.
All right, yeah. The wires is the scam though, for sure, because every year I have my mic and this light plugged in with adapters and 2 different adapters into the side of my thing for that C lightning, and you're like. And say, in like another year in the next MacBook Pro, oh no, we're switching to this because it's even better.
Man, they want you to lose cords for us. They want you to lose cords.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. I lost one this weekend when we were in Washington, D.C. and had to travel by foot no less than 3.5 miles to be able to find the correct cord. I was just like, why is this? Just make them all universal, you guys. It's just so easy.
Have you ever heard of Uber, Rudy?
Oh, speaking of cheap, dude, you and I are simpatico because for how much you don't want to spend wires, I would much rather hoof it down to a Best Buy.
Rudy is the most humblest person I have met. Rudy's making good money now, but he travels like a peasant.
Yeah,
he really.
You're so. I was thinking about it today. If there was a cheaper way on Sunday to get from the hotel, if I could have gone by donkey cart. Instead of paying the $3 to get on the metro in Washington, D.C., I would have gone by donkey cart. It's awful, man. I know. It's terrible. I don't feel like I'm worth it. That's my problem. I don't feel like
you are worth it. I got to teach Forrest. Rudy is worth it. He just don't know yet.
Well, like even when we go to football games and stuff, I'm like, just get whatever is the cheapest. I don't care. If we're gonna go, just get out. I'll buy nosebleed. I see other people with self-esteem that sit close to the action, and I don't have.
So Forrest, mark this down. It's October 14th.
Yep.
2024. He's going to be traveling with me all year to gigs. Let's talk to him next October where he's like, we didn't stay in a nice hotel this week.
Yeah. Our hotel only had a sauna and no steam room. What the F, man?
Oh, by the way, I got you what the record is. It's not all-time touchdown records. Jaden Higgins for Iowa State, 6 straight games with at least 1 touchdown, which is
that's great.
Good. And it just ended this week. He didn't get a touchdown against West Virginia, but he had a good game. So,
yeah,
6 straight games with a touchdown. Yeah.
It did say that he had back-to-back 100-yard games.
Yeah,
which is first in a while for some. Yeah, he sounds
great. Legit. I remember when he was born. It's just cool to be like,
that's awesome, man. What's his name? Jaden
Higgins.
Jaden Higgins.
Yeah,
Jaden Higgins.
Yeah. Keep going. Look for him in April in the draft.
Yeah. Hey, I hope you get drafted. I hope you come on the show. Forrest can interview you, and I won't disrespect you. I promise. We'll talk about your Iowa 6 catches. 6 touchdowns in a row. That's great. Hey, what's going on? It's Michael. Yo, look, we appreciate all the love on Comics on Canes. We are over 975 people as I speak right now. We want to get it over 1,000. Thank you so much for the support. Hit that subscribe button. And also, we have an audio pod. You can get that wherever you listen. Do it. It's all about the you. Louisville plays Miami. Look, I'm going to start, and then I'll let you take it over. Or do you want to throw out some stats first before I
just want to say, look, they were coming in hot. They were ranked. They were on their way to a collision course with us, and then Notre Dame beat them in a tough game. SMU, they lost to SMU at home, and another close game, but SMU is not bad. But 2 straight losses. They beat Virginia this week, so they're coming in.
They barely beat Virginia this week. Barely. Barely. I watched the game. I went back. You know what's amazing for us? They got this thing on YouTube. And I just found this out, and I'm not saying this in a way to make it sound like I'm belittling anyone. I didn't know this, but they cut the games up. You can watch them on YouTube. I did not know that. My friend said, I think you sent me a link or somebody sent me a link of a game I missed because I was on stage. Dude, I watched like 3 Louisville games in like 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. No, not 2 minutes, but it was pretty quick. But let me tell you something about Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Are you finished yet? You finished.
I wanted to give you a couple stats first just before we start. Like, their quarterback's a pocket passer, which I think favors our defense right now. Like that we've been having trouble the last couple games with guys that with some mobility and getting out there and extending the play. And he's not really that type of quarterback. He's got 63% completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,600 yards. And he's not a bad quarterback. He's not beating us with his feet. You know what I'm saying? So their leading running backs, a guy named Isaac Brown, 59 carries, 508 yards. They got a couple of their backs that get carries too, but it's going to be a more standard type of offense that we're looking, which I think will favor our defense because our D line will be able to do what they do without, and being able to contain them and stuff. And I think can get pressure on them. And I think this actually will be a good bounce back game for our team and our defense to kind of get settled and get right. And we've had a bye week too. So,
Okay. Look, I don't like history. And Forrest always brings up history. I'm surprised he didn't say, well, in the past, we lost our bye weeks. We haven't won a bye game since 2016. Different team. It don't matter. I would believe that's true if they keep the same teams like they used to. It's a totally different team. That doesn't matter. Miami will crush Louisville. And I got reasons this time. I'm not just saying it. I got reasons. I watched them. I watched them. Their quarterback, like you said, pocket pass, a lot of play action. You can't play action against Miami. You can't. If your bread and butter is play action, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Miami gets there too fast. Too fast. Second thing. Let me tell you who to watch for. That running back, Isaac Brown, he's a freshman. The dude's a beast. Here's the problem Miami's going to have with this dude, Isaac Brown, is this guy can read holes. Unlike a couple of our backs that miss a lot of holes, this dude finds the holes and he's fast. I would say the only thing bad about him, he's a little bit light. So I think over time, Miami will break him down.
Mhm.
But he's a great running back from the area, from Miami area. So there you go. Now, Don Chaney, our old running back, plays for Louisville. And you know our old players like Caleb Spencer had that interception, almost took it back against Virginia Tech. He's going to be motivated. He only got 1 carry last week for 7 yards. Not really worried about him, but I'm sure if they get close to the goal line, they're going to want to give him a touchdown. A person I think you need to look for, and I watched the film, and nobody's talking about this guy. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Nobody's talking about this guy, is number 11. He only had 2 catches for 19 yards. He's their tight end. He's good. He's good. We know the weakness in our linebackers is covering tight ends, right? Would you admit that's a weakness, Forrest?
I think so, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy,
Jamari
watch
Johnson,
out.
I think is who you're talking about. Jamari Johnson. He's got 11 catches, 140 a touchdown.
This dude.
Mark Redmond. They got a couple tight ends that.
No, they got some good tight ends. They got on the defensive side. You need to watch them, and of course, Ja'Cory Brooks is their leading receiver. Got to worry about that. Now, the reason why Miami will destroy them, their linebackers can't cover a tight end at all, like horrible. They're ranked just awful in pass defense. I don't know what it is, but I was watching it. People running free every play. X will have 10 catches this game just because they can't people coming across the middle, they cannot cover. They can't. Our tight ends will eat, X we eat. They are better on the outside, but not great. I mean, I would be shocked if Cam Ward, because this game's going to be a blowout. If he's in the fourth quarter, he will throw for over 400 yards. Easy. This is going to be a pitch and catch. They have no pass defense. Their running defense isn't great either. But I think this is a game where they're going to be like, we're going to run the ball a little bit, but we're going to just light up this scoreboard and just really, because what they need is a blowout. Because people saying, they barely won. They need a blowout, and they will get it this game. They win. I mean, it's probably like, I always say the same score. But, man, I would not be shocked, and this is reaching, if they put a 50 burger on Louisville. Wow. It's just their defense is their pass defense is horrendous. Virginia had people running all over the field, and I know they're going to come to play. Louisville will come to play, but they will find out very quickly they cannot hold these receivers. Miami has the number 1 offense in the country right now. They've never seen that. They've never seen the level of this type of. They've never seen a Cam Ward quarterback. Tight ends will eat, X will eat, all receivers will eat, running backs will do fine. I mean, 50 to 21. 50-21.
Yeah, they haven't created a lot of turnovers either in Louisville.
No.
Not that we're crushing that statistic as well, but the biggest advantage we have, it's a noon game. At night, it would be a different story. Mm-hmm. But a noon game, this is Miami practices in the morning. Like, this is when they're up, Yeah. And a couple notes, Jalen Rivers will be playing again. They just announced he's going to play this game. And if you're looking forward to the week after, which we shouldn't, but they just announced the Florida State game, 7:00 at night. Boom, let's go.
Yeah, just looked it up. Louisville 43rd in total defense this year as of Sunday.
What can you look up pass defense, Rudy? What are they?
Well, they give up 216 yards a game on pass defense. So that's not bad, but your stats are going to be padded a lot by the beginning.
But let me tell you, when I watch them,
they're giving up almost 350 yards a game. Mm-hmm. And we're somewhere on 500. Let me bounce back here, but their scoring defense, they're slowly backsliding right now. The team, as they're playing stronger competition, they gave up a lot of yards to Notre Dame, SMU, and the teams that they've been playing recently. And so it's how it balances out towards we get closer to the season, but the middle of the season. But and we're just chugging along. I mean, offense is granted, we've talked about the occasional bad pass here, there, whatever, but our offense is not stalling anytime soon. So,
no.
Yeah, and I'm totally with you with the tight ends. I don't think we're using them enough. I don't think we're using our tight ends enough. I think we should be. I think there should be a game where it's we should be really just pounding Elijah Arroyo, giving him the ball at least double what we're giving this game, and bring in Lofton only has 8 catches on the year. I know.
Well, it's hard, but because usually the tight ends, unless it's a route for they're always like the second or third look, and that's the problem. But Miami's offense is averaging more than 400 yards a game in passing, bro. Passing. There's no way. I watched that Virginia film. There's no way they're going to stop Miami from scoring. No way. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, honestly, nobody's going to stop Miami from scoring. We just got to keep other people from scoring,
Yeah. And by the way, I looked it up just because you said I wasn't going to look it up, but coming off a bye week since 2019.
2016 is the last time they won.
That's 2019. We're 1-6 coming off a bye week. I was not going to look that up, but you threw it out there, so I looked it up.
Poking the bear. You're poking the bear, Forrest.
And that don't matter because it's different. With Portal, it's different. Portal is different.
Yeah. No, I got you. And
any final thoughts for us? Let's do our predictions. Let's do our prediction. What's my prediction? I told you 50-15, something around there. Forrest, what's yours?
Yeah, I think because I feel like the big problem we've had on our defense was the last 2 games was the quarterback extending the play, and then our DBs not being able to, stick with the receivers. And this guy's not doing that. I think he has 23 rushes for 24 yards. He's not mobile. You know what I'm saying? He's a classic pocket passer. And if he's not going to be able to extend the plays and he's trying to stay in that pocket's going to collapse. We're going to get pressure on him. I think this might be our highest sack total of the season is what I'm thinking, because I don't think he's going to be able to get away. They might try to bounce it off of some run stuff, but I think we're really going to score a lot of points. I think we're going to score, I'm going to say 42, and I think they're going to really have trouble scoring. I'll give them 21. So,
Good. What about you, Rudy?
I looked it up. So the spread is 3.5. I think the models were like 32-29. I think it's going to be higher than that. I also said 42, but I'm taking Louisville losing this 42-27. Plus, I hate the city of Louisville. The way they make you say it when you get there, it's pronounced Louisville.
Oh yeah, Louisville.
Louisville. God damn it.
Louisville. Before we go, do you want the updated Heisman odds?
And no, because Cam's third now, right? It's that running back is Shador and then Cam, right?
Ashton Jonty, I think is how you say his name, for Boise State.
Is he even playing against anybody?
I haven't pulled up their schedule, but
I don't think so.
That they just beat. Oh well, look. I'll look at some stats right here. He is on pace right now to break Barry Sanders' single season rushing record of 26.
But Barry Sanders played real schools.
No, 1 second now. He had a school record of 259-yard performance against Washington State. That's a real team.
Okay.
And he also rushed for 186 yards and 3 touchdowns against Utah State. Again, a team
okay.
I'm not saying that they're playing an SEC schedule, but the guy, I don't know the rest of their schedule, but here, I'm going to look it up for you right now. And if he's going to break that record and he's going to continue on that pace, he's definitely going to be in the mix. I can see why he's the top, and and it's, how it goes. It's whoever's getting that shine when they're getting it. And right now he's getting it, so,
okay.
And then Cam and the Oregon quarterback, Dylan. Yeah, they flip flopped a little bit, but I think they're going to go back and forth. He had a bye week, Cam, so people are just like, I don't know.
Hey, as long as he's there in November or December, that's all that matters. And as long as Miami's undefeated and goes to, I don't care if he wins the Heisman, if he doesn't. Hey, Miami did its job with Cam, and now Miami will be able to sell to another quarterback. I think we're still a year away. I still think transfer portal next year, and then you're going to have Luke, and you're going to have Emory. You're going to have some great quarterbacks, and then I don't think we have to go to portal anymore. So, saying that, anything else for us?
I just was going to tell you Boise State's schedule. They lost to Oregon by 3.
Okay.
They Georgia, Southern, Portland State, whatever, but they played Washington State, Utah State, Hawaii. They still have UNLV, San Diego State, Nevada, Wyoming, Oregon State. It's a legit schedule. So,
Yeah, okay.
If he breaks those records, I don't see
no disrespect. Yeah. No disrespect if he breaks them.
No disrespect.
He had disrespect, but now Forrest told me this. No disrespect. No disrespect.
Respect.
All right.
Respect.
All right. I like it. All right. To everybody watching, Rudy, where are you going to be? Anything you're doing?
I'm going to be, let's see, where am I? Brad Garrett's coming up the first week of November. I'm going to be there November 4th through the 10th. And then I'll be out with Joe DeVito from Gutfeld on Fox News. I'm going to be out with him on the 25th, La Crosse, Wisconsin, the 26th, Austin, Minnesota. And then, just check out the website, rudypavichcomedy.com.
Forrest just shot his comedy album. Way to go, Forrest.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, just recorded the comedy album at the Comedy Inn in Miami. That was really fun. Thanks for everybody that came out. We had sold out shows. That was awesome. And this Friday, October 18th, I'll be at the Blind Tiger in San Antonio, Texas. That's a 10 p.m. show, late show. Come out. It's a fun show and a fun venue. And then October 19th, I'll be at Film Alley in Bastrop, Texas. I'll also be in the Austin area, probably doing some shows here and there. So if you're in the Austin area, check my website, forrestshaw.net. I'll be putting stuff up there too. So,
all right. And me, michaelyo.com. I'm doing first time ever headlining Madison, Wisconsin, Comedy on Stage. I'm so excited for that club. First time. That's like in a month. What'd you say for us?
The best club.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah. Theo Von took me once. That was my first road trip I ever went on where a comic took me out. Theo Von took me out to open for him at that club when I first started. So big shout outs to Theo for that. So I'm going back after like 9 years, first time. I'm excited. People come on out. Here's what's interesting. No matter who you vote for, it's 2 days after election. So I wonder how that room's going to be. That's going to be it. That's more because there's big swing state. That's what's just interesting to me is like, do people come out? Do they not come out? I mean,
it's a
I don't
college
know.
town.
It's going to depend because it is trust me, as a guy who lived in Wisconsin for a long time, that is a very, very blue dot in a very, very red state. So it's kind of an anomaly for Wisconsin. It's not exactly what represents the rest of Wisconsin. And
also, Forrest, college people don't come out to see me. They don't want to hear me talk about kids and marriage. So that's
you don't have to tell me. Look at this. You think college kids are coming out to see this guy?
I said, will people come out? You were like, college town. I was like, no, they're not coming to see me.
No, I meant I meant what Rudy said. I meant what Rudy said. It's a blue area. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if Trump wins, maybe they'll come out to laugh about something. And if he wins, and if Harris wins, they can come out to celebrate. So either way, come out and see me. I want to sell some tickets. I want to sell these shows out. Thank you, everybody watching. 1,000 subscribers means a lot. Let's keep it going. I got some exciting news. We're going to do a 1,000 subscriber party. I'm trying to find some giveaways and stuff. I got a couple already, but I'll give you all the detail. You'll have a week. We're going to have a cross 1,000 subscriber mark party. I got to figure it out, but we're going to do it for you guys. Thank you so much. Keep subscribing. Hit that button.